Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Inspired. Today I'm here with Ari, myself, Miss Karin, and Sasha.
Hey.
I want to toss it right over to Karin here. I want her to introduce herself so you guys know who we have on the show today and maybe figure out what we're talking about.
Sure. My name is Karin Otto. I am actually visiting from Boise, Idaho. I am owner and provider of Face and Body Boutique in Boise, Idaho, and I come and travel to Vegas usually once a year to see Amber to do my brows. She's amazing.
Mm-hmm.
And they're fresh today.
They are very fresh, a little sore, but perfectly shaped. Yes.
How long have you been doing your brows now?
Oh, goodness. Let's see. I asked you that question earlier. When you got married was in 2024, and I had met
2020.
you. 2020.
Yeah, so how many years? It's
5 years,
Wow.
yes. I sought Amber out years ago because my brows were messed up. They were so heavily saturated. They had scar tissue in them from being scratched and scraped with microblading. So and they seriously looked like fuzzy black caterpillars on my face. Not the look that I was going for. I was just traveling around on Instagram one day, and I came across somebody that lives in Florida that Amber knows. His name's Will Anthony, and he does a lot of permanent makeup, and I just randomly messaged him, just, will you help me? So I sent him a picture of my brows, and he said, you got to get that shit removed. No pun intended.
Of course he did.
Yes. And even though I live in Idaho, he lives in Florida, that just wasn't going to be an option. He referred me to Amber, who I am so grateful that she responded back to me when I reached out to her, and I just said, I need your help. So that was about 5-6 years ago, and here I am today. We like to talk a lot about business. I am a business owner. She is a business owner. I am a clinically trained esthetician. I do lots of different things. I've been doing what I do for 21 years. I've owned my own business for 11. So we always have a lot to talk about what we've experienced with employees, with renters, with just the industries that we've worked in, and it's been fun getting to know her. She's a smart cookie.
What's fun is earlier when I was doing her brows, she literally was like, something new happened to me. And I was like, wait, you got to tell me because maybe I can avoid it in the future.
Let me learn through you.
Yes, because I'm like, what happened? Was it a mistake? What happened? So do you want to tell them a little bit about what we were talking about there?
Was it with renters?
Yeah.
Aha. So
the money thing? Which I know that's a thing.
Oh,
like,
I mean, which issue are you talking about? I've had so many. So I own my own building. I work in one half, and then I have operators that rent rooms from me. And I've owned my own building now for almost 8 years. We've had some ups and downs with renters. It's hard. I was just telling Amber, owning my own building is like owning another house, and I take it as seriously as when I have people come in and rent rooms from me. I've invited you to come into my house and be my roommate. And those are the expectations that I have. Not everybody sees it that way, and we've had some come and go that have been at my asking, please leave, because I don't want to live with you anymore. But about 3 weeks ago, one of my renters on the other side, it's actually my medical director who oversees medical supervision in my clinic, told me that she discovered some cash had been stolen out of her drawer.
Gosh.
I haven't known of any type of theft that I've had, and it really startled me. And to be honest with you, it really pissed me off. It's like, you know what? What really upset me was she said it was in a drawer. It was in their room. The door was shut. So whoever took this went into that room with intent, looking for something. And a couple of things. I don't have any patience for that. And another thing, it just made me feel very violated. It made me feel like, who's going through the building and looking at whatever? I mean, there's been many times, I don't anymore, I have left my cash bag there, and having renters giving keys out to people that you don't know very well, it's a very vulnerable place to be as a business owner. But to grow your business, you have to learn how to trust people, and it's really hard.
It's really hard.
Especially when you've had that happen to you. I was really unhappy, and I sent my assistant Olivia said, after she read the text message that I sent out to all the people that are key holders of my building, she says, "Oh, that was your mommy voice." And I told Amber earlier, I mean, I am nice until I'm not.
Yeah.
Don't steal from me. I mean, I understand that desperate people do desperate things, but I wish that if somebody was that desperate,
Just ask, right?
just ask. I'll loan you the money. I mean, I know that people are in vulnerable spots, but that was something I've never had to deal with in the 11 years that I've been in business by myself. So yeah, it was
Certain
not fun.
things like stick with me when people say things, and one of the things when we were talking earlier, you really it's funny because I kind of want to get an outsider's perspective on this, like, so these girls, but something that stuck with me was, so how long, you said you bought the building, it came with people already in place, so renters already in place, you had to kind of clean house, right? You had to get people that fit you.
Oh yes, I bought drama. I bought a building with 5 people worth of drama. That's what happened. And that had been the first experience that I had ever had with that. And walking in there, I mean, at first it was all grand and glorious. People were happy to be there. They liked the concept that I had. I remodeled the building. I mean, it all felt like it was going to be cohesive until it wasn't. And I mean, I'll take a little bit of responsibility about that. I want things the way I want things. I think that you have that right as a business owner to create the environment and the feel that you want for your patient or client base that you have. And unfortunately, 5 out of 5 of those ladies did not want to get on the bus that I was driving. So I had to let them go one by one. There was a moment in time, and I mean, I just gave you the Reader's Digest version of that. It was very drama-filled. I don't do drama at all. I'm too old. I turned 60 years old last year. I don't do drama. I don't have any place.
What?
I told you.
If you guys are watching on YouTube,
This is what I
hold
do
on.
for a living, remember,
Yes.
girls. I do all the things. Anyway,
Yeah.
thank you.
Well, yeah.
Beautiful.
But it was a learning curve because, and I just lost my train of thought. Let me get it back on track here.
Getting rid of those,
Oh,
or
yes.
not guessing getting rid of them, I guess, and just not being on the same.
There was a moment in time where my 2,600 square foot building, there was one girl that came on board with me after all these girls, and she's still there with me. She's an A+. I love her. But she was on one side, I was on the other, and I was willing to I'll just pay for the mortgage myself and not have any renters. I'll have 5 empty rooms rather than deal with the drama that brought. But it's all a learning curve. It was all a learning process of being really mindful. I mean, I had a lot of people. I'd have resumes, this tall of people who wanted to work in my building because I was in a really good I am in a really good location. I'm on State Street, which is one of the busiest long streets in Boise. Thousands of people drive by the building every day with the sign. So, I mean, it's a very desirable location to be. But you have to be picky. First of all, you have to decide what you want in your space, and you have to stick with it. I mean, you really do. And there may be times that you'll be alone. That is one thing, I guess, that I have learned, that when you are a business owner, sometimes not everybody is your friend. Sometimes you don't want everybody as your friend.
And being okay being alone.
Yes.
Because I think we are in that exact spot right now. I'm like, the universe works in mysterious ways because I'm like, who's going to stay is going to stay and who's not. That's to the next. And I told you something earlier, like, don't be forceful of bringing somebody else on. I think I need to just hold space for the right people to come.
Yes. And another learning curve that I have is that I always had angst when I found somebody and got them to sign a contract. Then I thought, oh, okay, it's good. But I always had in the back of my head, are they going to leave? Are they not going to stay? So getting over that anxiety about people coming and going was a learning curve. I told Amber, I've been very lucky. The 4 renters that I have in now are solid. One of them's been there the whole 8 years. The other 2 are nurse practitioners that don't want to move anywhere. One of them's my medical director, and so, I mean, we work together. So, in short of one of us dying, I mean, I hate to say that, I don't foresee this being a problem. So, but it's taken me a long time to get there.
And how long? Like, how many people do you think you had in and out versus, like, say, in and out? How long did
10.
it get you to the point?
10.
10 went through 10
Over
to fill.
a 8-year period, yeah. But
So what made you, so I'll ask hard questions. What made you keep going? Because I'm like, fuck this.
Well, I own the building, so I'm not going anywhere. It's not an option to me to sell it.
Yeah.
So I've just had to figure it out. And I don't have all the answers, but it's been a good learning experience.
Not having a plan B. Just figuring it out.
Yep. My plan B is to just keep going and learning with each person that comes in and out, finding people with like mind who are just wanting to do their business. That's the thing that frustrated me the most is like, this bringing drama into the work. It's like you come here to do a job. Come in, do your job, and go home.
Yeah.
It can be that simple. But for a lot of people, they make it not simple. And they make their problems everybody else's problems, which we all have stuff to deal with every day in life. But I try to provide an environment that you feel that. So I guess maybe that was what I was really focusing on more, is when people come in, they feel the environment that I have established and that it all kind of becomes cohesive and meshes. Does that make sense?
I'm trying. I'm trying. Ari's been there through some of this. So
Yes.
how do you, how long have you been with us now?
A year.
A year? And how long have you been with us, Sasha?
3.
3 years.
Yeah,
So
you've been
Sasha's
here.
probably seen a little bit more than what Ari has. But how have you felt be honest, like how have you felt through the roller coaster of things? Because I know most recently, and I don't care who listens to this, but like most recently, everybody was saying like my energy was being drained, and like I didn't even notice that my energy was being drained until
You're told.
ties were cut too, and I was sitting at home at the dinner table, and I'm like looking at Victor, and I'm like, wow. And I'm like, I feel so much lighter.
Yeah.
And this was after you guys had said something, so I was like, wait a second. Like, what was in that situation that was affecting me so much?
Right.
So you guys on the outside, you probably saw a lot more than what I was even like.
Well, it's a heavy weight that you don't even know is there until it's not anymore. And it's just part of coming and going with people. People just meshing together.
Yeah, and I think I noticed about Amber, like the micromanaging, I think is what irritates you. Like, I think you want us to all be our own people and just be like, okay, this is what it is. Be on top of it. I don't have to tell you twice. And it became something where it's like...
but it's almost like that turns you into a micromanager. It's so
but that,
weird.
I think
can't
that's
even
what was
explain
making
it.
me feel
But I
balance.
literally want just...
Yeah.
Go over there, butterfly fly. Like, and then the second I have to like be doing like, why are you not cleaning? Why is this a mess? Like, why is that? Then I'm like, bro, am I like psycho? I am this micromanager, and why am I in this place? Because this is what I don't want to be.
Yeah.
Well, it goes back to the analogy is that this is your second home. And sometimes it feels
true.
like people who are renting from your employees that you're being their mother, and that's not the role.
Not fun.
No,
yeah.
no, I don't.
Shoot,
I've already
their studio
raised.
gets nicer things than my house gets. Are we serious right now?
I already raised my kids. I don't want to raise any
I didn't
anymore.
have children
Yeah.
for that reason. Hold on.
I don't know. I think just my number one priority was always just keeping a good rapport with you. Like that was just always my number one priority, is just making sure we have a good and healthy relationship so I can continue to be here and grow with you guys, because I really do enjoy it, and I feel like we vibe so good, like you, me, and Sasha. Even when it's just us in the studio, we have so much fun, and I am learning so much from you guys. Like I am a baby like business person.
That's the point of Inspired, though, right? Bringing on baby business people. I love that. Baby business people.
I am, and I just feel like in so many other ways too. Like, I'm 35, but I swear I'm a baby.
We are a baby.
Have such like a,
baby girl.
You know, like a childlike mind. I don't know. Like, it's just weird. So I totally enjoy being around you and Sasha, who are so structured, because I really do crave that structure. And it helps me seeing other people come in and not really just kind of get it or be grateful for the opportunity, or they don't even realize that they're putting off that energy because they're so consumed in their own things. It's hard, you know, because I don't want to overstep my boundaries with anybody and be like, hey, Amber, I can really see that this person's draining your energy. Like, how do you feel about it? You know what I mean?
Actually, I would appreciate it. I'm like, yeah, just please say something.
You know, and maybe next time I will, but I always say, you guys know how nice I am.
Yeah.
Even when, you know, I can't really stand somebody, I'm still just going to be so nice, because I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. But I think we also have that in common, where we need to, like, we both need to start like being better at like setting our boundaries and like and being more straightforward with what we really are feeling, because the more we kind of dance around trying to not like be straight to the point, like because we don't want to come off like we love her so much, but Adrian's so straightforward, she can be scary sometimes, you know, because she just is so straightforward and there is no fluff. And I just feel like her like being from the Bay in that area, like that's really like helped her mold how she is, you know, being like that and being her own business owner and like seeing how far, you know, she's come. So I really love having Adrienne around too, because she'll help me too. But it's been a roller coaster, but I do enjoy seeing you like happy and having fun and like us kind of just being back to normal. And I just feel like, I don't know, maybe there just does need to be a little trial period. Yeah. Like before maybe you even sign a contract or something, or maybe a little contract before the contract. Yeah. So then,
and I was even saying, you know what I learned from this thing? Because you're always learning. If you're not learning from it, then you're fucking up. Like, but this is... I will never again, you're not going to, I want to see how you handle, so she came, you know, certain situations, people come in and they're like, it's like you're doing a business and you're doing an apprenticeship. It's too much. I want to see how you're handling your own business first, and then we can talk about later the apprenticeship thing if you want to learn. Cool. You know, you guys all know I would never say no. Like, I'm not going to tell you not to come in a room. I'm not going to tell you, but if you want to do a full apprenticeship, we got to see how you're handling your whole business first, because you might not even be the right fit to bring into that apprenticeship, nor let alone juggle both, because that's insane.
Yeah.
Whenever I'm interviewing somebody who comes in and expresses interest to work in my building, it's not an employee situation. It's definitely they are renting a room. They are their own business. I provide your room, your lights, and your toilet paper. That's it. But I also tell them, along with what you were saying, Ari, of a trial period, I'm inviting you to move in to my house. We need to see if we can live together.
Literally.
Yeah. Not everybody can live together, and that's okay. You need to make sure, and just as an outside client coming into your business, I can feel the synergy between you three. So it's nice, And once you find people that are on your wavelength, that's what you really need to work for, is a connection, a wavelength. I mean, anybody can interview.
Yeah, because it's weird, because not everybody fits into it, and it is.
And that's
you
okay.
might want to, and you might not like them. You might, you know, and it's weird. It's just they just don't fit into the energy. Like something's just off.
Yeah, and you can't.
You don't know
force
until
that,
you know too,
and you
either.
can't fake it. Yeah. It's either it is what it is. Yeah.
So you have trial periods when you bring some. How does that look for you?
So I don't have anybody sign a long-term contract anymore. It's like a 3-month, and then we just kind of regroup after 3 months. And if they're happy and I'm happy, then we move forward. Yeah. And the reason I don't have contracts anymore, Amber and I were talking about that to you too. I don't want to hold anybody to something if they don't want to be there. And if I don't want them there, I want to have that opt out. I just don't think long-term contracts for renters. I started out doing that way, and it just never made any sense to me. I'm a business owner now, but I used to be an employee. So I see both sides of how you think about things. I have more respect for employers now than probably that I used to, because when you start having to pay for your toilet paper instead of using someone else's toilet paper, that was a bad example, but you know what I'm saying. You look at things.
Paper towels.
Yes. Gloves, whatever. So I appreciate that I have a well-rounded appreciation for all sides, and so I try to give that. What's the word I'm using?
Grace.
Understanding and grace.
Yeah.
Well, I remember. Sorry, did you?
No, I was gonna say. So your contracts, you do like every 3 months and you regroup, or 3 months then you resign for maybe a little bit longer.
Yeah, except there's no length. It's a month to month.
Oh, month to month. Oh,
but
gotcha.
it's a 3-month trial just to see if it's going to work.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then if they want to, usually that's really kind of my out.
Yeah.
If I think that they're not a good fit,
Yeah.
then I have the option to be like, this isn't working out.
That's smart. What were you gonna say?
Oh, I was just gonna say I don't think our most recent ones. I think I changed that. There's not even like a. Sorry, I thought he was looking at me. I don't even think that we have a term on it. Like I think it's this contract, which scares a lot of people. But I'm like, it's there for both of us. Like this contract could be ended at any time, literally
100%.
tomorrow. Like but obviously you saw with a certain situation, and that just happened. I'm like, I'm never gonna be like, get out tomorrow. You know, no matter what the situation is. But that is to protect both sides, right? But
forcing someone to stay, how miserable is that going to be?
Yeah.
No.
Right, and then they're bringing in that negative
if they
energy.
already have negative energy, it's it's just going to
God.
skyrocket.
Yeah,
no. Thank
No, you don't. It doesn't have to happen that way. No.
We both just sighed. Yes, if you want to be a business owner, that's something to consider. You want to find the right people for the right energy that fits your crew.
Yes. With what we do in the service industry, we are way too intertwined with people in general to not have people that mesh with us. And I mean, we spend way too much time at our jobs to be miserable. And I mean, I just try to be real open and honest about that. Not in a mean or restrictive way, but just make people understand that sometimes things don't work out, and that's okay.
Yeah, no,
I
literally.
encourage you, go find your path.
Yeah.
I have found mine. I want people to be on my path, but not everybody's going to want to be there. So
Right.
Yep.
And we do just give so much energy to our clients. We also take on a lot of their energy, a lot of their trauma, a lot of this or that they're sharing with us. And then especially with us just being at the crown of their head for such long periods of time, we also feel that. And so when we get done, we don't want to,
chakra.
you know, we just want to vibe with our team. And I really feel that and love that.
You guys are unlicensed therapists.
Literally.
To be honest.
100%.
Yeah.
I solve the problems of the world on my table.
Yeah.
Every day.
So
And I love it.
I have a question. Do you feel, I'm not going to ask you if you would change something, but do you feel that we do better as, in a group with people, with like-minded people around us? Or do you feel like being solo, there's benefits to that too? What do you think is...
For me now, in the stage of life I prefer to be solo. That's why I work by myself, and that's why I don't have any employees working under me. I do have an assistant who is my right arm and my left arm. I mean, she does everything that I don't. Anywhere from my laundry to my charts to social media to paying my bills. I mean, she's my personal assistant, and I would die without her. But I have learned in the last few years that I don't like to share my space.
Yeah.
I don't want people touching my stuff. But I also work, I do things like Botox and fillers where I need, a very clean, I need to have control over that situation in my own treatment room. And so I don't like having people work around me. They can be on the other side of the building, but I don't want them in my workspace. And that's just me. I accept that. I own it, but that's just me. Not everybody.
So you don't consider those people that are renting on the other side of the building like your team?
No.
Okay.
They're their own team.
Okay.
Like I have two nurse practitioners who have an esthetician that work for them, and then I have another esthetician who has an esthetician working for her. So they're all three their own businesses. We refer to each other. I mean, I don't want to say that kind of a team. They're just not my employees, if that makes sense.
Yeah, that makes sense.
They all work under the umbrella of my name, Face and Body Boutique, but they also have within that their own little business names too. So that's why I take so personally people who work in my building, because even though they have their own business and they do their own thing, people who walk into my building, unless they're told, think that they work for me.
Yeah.
So there's a certain responsibility that these people have that has to go with, working under my umbrella that I hold them to. So
Yeah, absolutely.
We're so similar here.
Yeah, I
We're
know, it is
so many
very similar.
similarities
Yeah.
here. She just doesn't even know. Yeah, I'm going to pick up the phone. Karen, I got a question for you. I know you've been through this before. Can I ask?
I'm
Sure
curious
can.
what your space looks like. Is it because I feel like our studio is big.
Yeah.
When you think about it,
It
with
is.
so many bodies in there,
Yeah.
it does feel so small.
So I have a building that
Yeah.
it's in a business park. All the buildings look the same. I just happen to own one of them. So when you walk in the front door, it splits. There's a door that goes this way and a door that goes that way. And then it connects in the back where there's a kitchen.
Got it?
So
cool.
I could block it off as two different offices, but the washer and dryer situation is on this side of the building and I work on this one.
Got it.
And I don't want it to be like a prison. I mean, I have operated on everybody was free to come and go, but now that this theft thing, I'm like, I don't know about that anymore. So we're kind of in that transition of who has a key and who's going to do all that. But it's a building that just has separate rooms. It used to be do you know where Edward Jones Investments is?
Yes.
It used to be one of those. So there were just offices.
Got it.
I've restructured it a little bit. I did some construction, took down some walls, put up a wall, and made my own working spaces. But it's basically 7 rooms that I have to work
Wow,
with.
nice.
Yeah. It's a good amount.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
That's what I'm hearing from all this is you just are always going to continue learning, and I'm still going to quit every other month. It's fine.
I bought this building, like I told you guys how old I am. I'm trying to prepare my exit plan.
Wait, how old were you when you bought the building?
51.
Okay.
52.
I have time.
I know, that's how I was just like,
So this was my contribution to our retirement. This is why we did this, my husband and I. So, and having renters in it, I mean, that's what pays the mortgage. So that's why I'm going to continue to do this. It's filling a bucket that I need filled.
Well, and I mean, you don't have to answer this, but now I'm getting personal, but the building has the value increased, so since you bought it, so if you sold it, then there's retirement stuff.
Remember, I live in Idaho,
Yeah.
where everybody moved to during COVID. Our property values have doubled, almost tripled.
That's awesome.
So I'll just tell you, I bought this building for $375,000, and I had it appraised last year. I could probably get $900 for it.
Nice. See,
Beautiful.
that's what I'm saying.
That's why I
Yes.
put up with what I do and do what I do, because I have to.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just my plan. So,
Yeah, but that all makes sense.
Yeah.
That's literally
That's
where my brain was going.
amazing.
I've just never heard anybody else say it out loud. That's why I like buy a building. So when you get older, Amber, that's the perfect thing.
it is. I mean,
Because otherwise, you're going to keep paying
Yeah.
monthly
Someone
rent
else's
to somebody else,
someone else's
and then I might as well
mortgage
just be paying
that
into
goes
mine.
into their
Yeah.
exactly.
pocket.
Literally.
And then if you buy a building, you can't quit.
And then I can't.
Until you retire. I want to retire in 5 years. That's my plan. So
When I
we'll see.
retire, I'm like, here you go. Now it's your problem to figure out around selling the thing. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much. Maybe last minute. How do they find you if they want to look you up?
So driving by on State Street, if I need renters, I have a marquee sign that I put. Sorry, I talk with my hands a lot. I put up room for rent. That's, but a lot of it's word of mouth. I haven't gotten a lot of expressed interest lately because I don't have any rooms available. But just sometimes people will pop in and put their resume in, and I'll just say I just rent rooms here. Word of mouth, but usually it's from the sign on the street. I'll put up room for rent. So.
Okay. Are you on social media or anything?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
What's your social?
You mean how do people find me just for me?
Yeah,
Oh, sorry.
How did you go?
Instagram, Facebook, all the things. Yeah.
If you guys aren't watching, you should go check out YouTube because her skin is phenomenal.
Aw,
Very
thank
pretty.
you.
Very, very
Face
pretty.
and Body Boutique, Boise, Idaho.
Awesome. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us on another episode of Inspired, and we will. Oh wait, Sasha.
Comment, like,
Don't forget
share,
to-
subscribe. I never do it in order. Oh my gosh.
Like, comment, share, subscribe.
It's hard to say.
All right, guys. Thank you so much.